Welcome to my review of Ted Lasso Season 3, Episode 3, titled 451. So, episode title is no surprise considering what they brought into the team, or the team was brought to Zava. So, for me, this is a second half heavy episode. For me, when they stopped doing too much of the referential humor, which some went over my head, like the Big Lebowski one, because I haven't watched that movie yet. And the ones about Hugh Jackman and something, I forgot. I did like the Julie Andrews one, but when comedy went to the sports, went to like the overly exaggerated Zlatan character, it hit more for me. As well as the side story that was brought up in episode 1, like at the end, about Ted's ex-wife having a new boyfriend. And maybe Jamie's character development as well. Those are the strongest parts of the episode. Physical comedy, especially from Zava and Jamie as well, was really good, and they should cut down on the referential humor because it's losing its value. And they need to find better material. So yeah. As for the game scenes, I heard they shot this like after Premier League games this year, and they look so good. A lot less like just getting the dudes and playing football. A lot less like that Sunday community football thing that people make jokes about on comment section, and it's looking a lot more legit. Game scenes here were just basically Zava's goals. Nothing really tactical. It's like they're winning purely on the talent on their squad, aka Zava, who's like a 99 on FIFA. But hopefully soon we get like more tactical game scenes, like what we had in the end of season 1, or whenever Nate was there. And oh yeah, we get like this table ranking of the Premier League teams. Nice touch. It's like the one in Damned United, where with every result, with every win they get, it's animated to like go up the rankings. Yeah, this is my favorite part of the entire like game sequences. It helps us follow up with like Richmond's success on the pitch. Like a lot easier than when it's just said at like one point in the episode or by the commentators. So yeah, let's get on with the rundown of each storyline. So this episode has one main story, 3 secondary stories, and 1 tertiary one. So let's start first with the main story, which is Zava'S entry into the team. So basically, Zava was a cartoon character. They play up too much on these Zlatanisms. They take it to a next level where it just makes Zava look stupid. I didn't like how he was made to look like a clown at the start. When he was just like sitting on Rebecca's chair, he walked out and didn't know where he was going. Yeah, if you want to have a Zlatan character, he should be like firm and in control. This is like one of the main reasons why I didn't like the first half of the episode. Like, they just went too far on Zava. But when things sort of mellowed down, specifically at the part where he was setting up his own tactics, where the sports humor started when Roy was explaining a plan that was basically just a support system for Zava, that's when things got better. And when they got to the field, Zava's actor played the most convincing Zlatan. I don't think he was ever this good that he can score halfway goals. Wait, he did! He did score a halfway goal. But it doesn't look like it's with full control. There was a bit of luck that went into that. But here Zava just like saw it from a mile away, from the start. So Jamie doesn't like Zava like from the start. But by the end of the game scenes, I love how he like celebrates with the team. He likes winning with the team. But it's his competitive nature and not his being petty that's like driving him to be better than Zava. So apparently West Ham are number 2, Manchester City are number 1, of course. And right behind those two teams is AFC Richmond, 2 points below both teams on top, which are tied. Sam invites everyone to his new restaurant that was teased in episode 2. And I'm actually interested in trying African food. Because like we have Persian, Indian, Japanese, Chinese, Thai, Vietnamese, and of course like American food. But we don't have those too far away. Somehow we have Greek food here as well as Turkish, but no African. So please send me some African dish recipes that you might have seen in the show or like described, because we don't really get like a zoom in of the food. Oh no, it wasn't teased. Sam actually bought this. I think this was the property that African prince was trying to sell Sam, but instead Sam bought it. So yeah, cool stuff. A nice new venue to visit aside from the bar, where it's not really realistic that you would go there, since that's where all the marks would be, and you can't really control who's coming in and out of that. But yeah, here we get all of the stories converging that I'll talk about after this. So yeah, to conclude the main story, Jamie asks Roy to train him, and then this looks like it will be a Bronn and Jamie, coincidentally same names, storyline, like in Game of Thrones, and hopefully Jamie makes it out in one piece in this one. It's gonna be fun, hilarity, brutal training segments to fully unlock Jamie's potential. And as for Zava, he starts rubbing people the wrong way. And I hope we also get the bad of what Zlatan brings into teams. I want him to get red carded in the match against West Ham, and this will drive him in a direction that will make him more human and more sympathetic. That either maybe the team or Ted himself, who's not in the best place right now, will be able to pull him out of, help him with. So yeah. Hopefully he becomes a part of Ted Lasso's Richmond and not just his own thing. Even if his own thing is already this undefeatable Richmond side. I want him to be banned against the game versus West Ham and versus Man City. Or they lose to West Ham. Nate absolutely nullifies Zava with defense. But in the game against Man City after that, he should headbutt two dudes, get 3 red cards in on a couple of seconds, just like Alexander Mitrovic did with Fulham. And now he's banned for 10 games or something. So yeah, love the direction of the main story. They fix it up with the second half of the show. Let's move on to the next storyline, which is Colin, Michael, and Colin's hidden life. So this explores what athletes in hypermascular locker rooms have to go through in order to not get ostracized by the team. In order to fit in with the team, he has to be a closeted homosexual in his mind, just because the team are joking around about it. I like how they set it up, that he introduces him as his wingman, but this has to be the most run-of-the-mill and predictable thing on the show. Obviously, in a show like Ted Lasso, it's gonna end up being just the team accepting him. This is the most 100% flux compatible team. There's only one direction how this will go. It's gonna end up with acceptance. It does explain Colin's need to seek for help in season 2. It broadens that, but I would have preferred to have this just be normal. Have this just be the status quo. Have everyone accept it from the start. It's not the late 2000s and early 2010s. I think people are more accepting now. Especially in pro wrestling, which you should be a fan of because pro wrestling needs more fans. But I do see what's happening in the NFL, and that's a lot less more tolerant league. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Hopefully it doesn't end up being predictable, but so far, for me, there's only one way this will go. I mean, they could have gone the Lucky Hank route, or the Vox Machina route, or the Rain Dogs route, which I haven't reviewed yet. Just have it be a part of society that everyone accepts already. I think that'll do a better job in, furthering your agenda. So yeah, at the end of this storyline of this episode, Michael and Colin are seen making out in an alley by Trent Krim, and this isn't the most hidden alley. Literally, any of the team members could have passed this way, even Zava, who left after rubbing Sam Obisanya the wrong way. Anyone could have seen them, at least try and hide it. And then have Trent, go and take a piss in the alley and then, run into this and then have this, have the same reaction that he did. Another great direction that this storyline will go is if, Trent, after being set up as, the whistleblower, the villain of this scene, he ends up helping Colin through this and, sharing his own experience. They could make Trent gay. And I don't want to assume, but come on, how can he not be? So yeah, hopefully I don't get cancelled for talking about that story. So yeah, Now for Rebecca's fortune telling, which is an odd direction for this to go. This was brought up in the last episode, but to actually involve a psychic, I don't know about that. I don't know how that works. It just seemed like making fun of the medium, having this bizarre situation on someone as serious as Rebecca wasn't how I would have done it. Maybe a more dramatic route would have been better. But after seeing her reactions to the prophecies coming true, I'm willing to give this a shot. I'm like a good deal invested in what's going to happen here. I like that they blur the lines because Sam has a new girl, I think, and this can go in multiple ways. It's either she does end with Sam, she ends up adopting, or whatever. And now for what came out of this episode as the best story of the show. And of course, it's Ted's marriage. So now this is the most interesting story since there are some revelations made here. So Ted finds out that his marriage counselor that was supposed to help him and his ex-wife patch things up is now dating her. Oh my god, this is so spicy because it like says that there can be foul play that went on. Like this dude could have been actively trying to break up their marriage that Ted sees as this inviolable, fantastical thing, and I'm all in for this. This is now like the best side story that I think will become the main story later on. I now think that Ted will never leave Richmond. He's going to be there forever. Because I made this prediction that he's going to leave, he's going to go back to the States and be with his son. But after seeing this happen and seeing Ted reunite with Sassy, I think they're going to end up with each other. Maybe bring in Ted's son into the mix, along with Sassy's daughter. Nothing insane is going to happen here. We're not going to have a crazy resolution to this where one party will end up in the worst place than the other. I think it's going to be like an understanding thing where, oh, his wife really needed this. It's going to be like a redo of what happened in season 2, but a lot more final this time. And Ted still has this like fantasy of getting back together with her, reforming the family. But come on, Sassy's right there. Like a factually more attractive single mom than your ex-wife, who has an awesome kid and is friends with your boss. You will have a job for life. And she looks like she's more passionate about things. Kind of like Coach Beard and his relationship. Like that guy's just winning in life. And as for the tertiary storyline, Keely and Shandy, this isn't given a lot of focus. We get like small scenes of Shandy starting to become this negative influence. She's being this parasite. She's starting to use Keely, get to the players. It's all building up for a blow up. But I'm going to have to see more of this to properly judge it. They're gonna humanize her to a lesser degree than Zava, since that guy's just like not down to earth at all. He's like levitating at like 10,000 feet from the ground 100% of the time. But yeah, I am looking forward to what happens in this storyline as well. They could bring this like a lot more forward in the next episode. So yeah, this episode of Ted Lasso, upon a rewatch, I think is the worst episode so far in season 3, but none of the episodes have been bad. This one is just like slightly above average, while episodes 1 and 2 are just like up there. Like episode 1 is second best, and then episode 2 is the best episode so far. So yeah, that is it for my review, and I guess recap now of Ted Lasso episode 3, season 3. Tune in next week for the next episode. Check out the wrestling content. Like, comment, and subscribe for engagement. Share if you don't know me. And please watch my shit.